What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 205, and we start today's episode off with a youth squad monthly report as we have now entered December, and of course there's only 1 month to go now before the January transfer window, which means that quite a few of these players in this squad report, as you'll see, well, they may be playing their last games for the club if they're going to play at all, to be honest with you. Players like Szczesny, players like Koscielny, players like Vargas, these are the three main players I'm looking at right now who I'm hopeful will be able to sell on in January. If not, then maybe in the summer. Obviously, Szczesny, he did come back in for the game against Southampton. I think he should have stopped the Mayuka goal, and to be honest, I'll probably only play him once, maybe twice more in the upcoming weeks before putting him on the transfer list for January. As I've said before, I'm not really convinced by the guy. And then players like Koscielny, obviously, as well, being someone I do want to shift on. He's on 90 grand a week and doesn't play too many games. And obviously Vargas as well has his contract up at the end of the year. But what I think I might do in the next couple episodes or so is give him a contract, just give him a 1-year extension to make sure he doesn't leave on a free transfer in January, and then try and sell him on. But we'll have to wait and see. Look at the league table as well. 14 games in, we are topped by 4 points as well, with 32 points right now. City are closest to us in second with 28. Look at the bottom of the table though. Manchester United in 18th place. Southampton rock bottom with 6 points. That is a crazy bottom three right there. But even so, as you can see, the Capital One Cup quarterfinals, we've got Leicester to come. That will be in the first game of today's episode, and the Champions League group as well. In the last episode, I did actually mention that Sevilla, was it last episode? I'm pretty sure it was last episode. I did mention that Sevilla could catch us and we could get knocked out of the group stage. That's not true due to the head-to-head ruling. I did put a disclaimer on the video as well in the text, but yeah, Sevilla can't catch us due to the head-to-head ruling. We are guaranteed to go through, and if we have to win against Porto, basically away in Portugal, due to the head-to-head ruling, a draw won't be enough. In the final game, we are guaranteed to be going through to knockout stages, but we have to win in Porto if we do want to finish top of the group. But still, we do take on Leicester for the first game of today's episode here as they travel to take us on the Emirates Stadium for that Capital One Cup quarter-final clash. Leicester City now a Championship club, so coming into this game really was fancying our chances, and as per usual we would make 11 changes and play all of the fringe players. And the first chance did fall to us here. Lauren Koscielny's header well saved by Ben Hamer and turned behind for a corner, but a few minutes later as Koscielny wins the ball back, he finds Serge Gnabry. Gnabry plays a brilliant ball into Danny Welbeck, one-on-one with the goalkeeper after riding the slide challenge, and he does make it 1-0. So Danny Welbeck, as I mentioned before, not a first 11 player anymore. He has to settle for a place on the bench a lot of the time, but whenever he does play, I'm confident he'll score. He's very good on this game, and Danny Welbeck does open the scoring here as he slots it under Hamer and makes it Arsenal 1, Leicester 0. So as soon as we took the lead, the emphasis was going to be on us to score more goals, to be honest, because we were definitely going to be fancying it. But not much really happened after that in the first half. We had to wait until the second half for another chance. It was still 1-0. So as we started the second half here, as Proctor crossfields it towards Lazzarini, Lazzarini finds Miaichi. He picks out Illaramendi. Illaramendi takes it around his man, plays a brilliant ball inside to Welbeck, and Danny Welbeck gets his second goal of the game and makes it Arsenal 2, Leicester 0. So 2 minutes after the restart, Welbeck gets his second of the game, and the game, I wouldn't say it was pretty much done at this stage, but Leicester hadn't done anything up until this point. They're now 2 goals down away at the Emirates Stadium. It's going to be very difficult for them to get back into this game. So brilliant ball by Illaramendi, obviously one of our new signings in the summer transfer window. Fantastic ball over the top. Once Welbeck let the ball drop there, Hamer came out, he couldn't get her on time, and Welbeck made it 2-0. So Arsenal 2, Leicester 0. In the 78th minute, a great chance to make it 3-0 here as Leicester give the ball away. It's a good challenge by Debussy on his man. Goes down the right hand side, waits, chips it over the top, finds Odubajo, and Odubajo came off the bench, makes it Arsenal 3, Leicester 0. So 3-0 to the Gunners. We're going through to the semi-finals of the Capital One Cup. It's Defoe's regen with another goal for us, and as I mentioned before, this guy, I think he scored in every single game I've played him in, but even so, he does make it Arsenal 3, Leicester City 0. We knew we were going through to the quarterfinals of the Capital One Cup, but we were going to be doing it in very convincing style now. Great finish by Odubajo there. 3-0 to Arsenal, and we are going through to the to the semi-finals even of the Capital One Cup. And we'll keep on playing the fringe players most likely, regardless of who we get. But even so, when we're putting in performances like this, there's no reason why we couldn't go all the way. So 3-0 to Arsenal, and as you can see, a few minutes before time here, Odubajo robs James, goes down this left-hand side. Great chance to make it 4-0 here, but I completely messed up the finish and put it wide of the post. So still 3-0. But as you can see, the final chance would fall in the 90th minute here as Leicester came forward with Ledley. Ledley finds Danny Drinkwater. He finds Chris Wood back to Drinkwater inside towards Davies. And in the end, it's actually a pretty nice goal for Leicester there. Nice little passing. And in the end, the travelling fans do have something to celebrate. Despite the fact their team are going to get knocked out, it was still a pretty nice goal, to be honest. Though I will say, I think Chris Ince should have saved it. And, you know, Szczesny, who will most likely be getting sold in January, if not the summer transfer window, Ince has come in. He's actually done a pretty solid job, but that is a mistake there. I think he should have saved that, but he didn't. But it was how the game would finish, though. It wasn't going to matter. Arsenal 3, Leicester City 1, and we are through to the Capital One Cup semi-finals. So delighted with that. Again, you know, we'll probably play a fringe players and a fringe team in the semi-finals, but you know, it's still nice to be going through regardless. And if we can win the Capital One Cup this year, it may not be the trophy we necessarily want, but it will be a trophy, and we need to win some silverware this year. So at least we know that we're into a higher round now, and there's a very good chance that we could go on to win this tournament. But still, following that, we see Lazzarino was happy for the chance to play in that game, and also that Chris Ince wanted a new contract, and he probably will get one, to be fair, as he has been pretty solid since Szczesny has been not indefinitely dropped, but you know, not in the first 11 as many games as he used to be. We take on Aston Villa though for the second and final game of today's episode, as Aston Villa come and take us on here at the Emirates Stadium. So back to the usual first 11 for this game. So taking on Aston Villa at a snowy Emirates Stadium. Now, a side note, I've read some comments before from when I've played in the snow. Not everyone can see the ball. Now, I apologise for that if that's the case, and in this game you're struggling to see the ball. I really do apologise for that. I've never really had a problem, to be fair, for viewing the ball. Maybe it's just maybe it's easy to see when I'm playing the game as opposed to watching the videos. But if you up your quality to 720 and you put the video in full screen mode, that might help a little bit. But if you can't see the ball, then I do apologise. But I don't like to change the weather, as I don't like to change any of those settings before a game. But still, we did take on Aston Villa here. The first chance fell to us. The shot was saved by the goalkeeper Jed Steer, and the follow-up shot hit the post. So a bright start for us here, and in the 20th minute, a great chance to make it 1-0 as Niang goes through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He heel flicks around him, and I just love this guy. Like, I genuinely love this guy. Honestly, he is the cult hero of this series, and he is just absolutely incredible. He's deserving of the cult hero of the series tag. You know, he's just absolutely awesome. He goes through one-on-one. He heel flicks around Jed Steer, the goalkeeper, and the skill shots on this game, I don't know why, but they seem so much more accurate than they used to be. Usually a lot of the times in previous FIFA was when you do skill shots, they'd usually go off target. Maybe that was just my experience, but this year they seem to be a lot more accurate, and I've got so much confidence in the guy. As soon as he went one-on-one around him, I knew exactly what to do. You know, I knew what to do with Niang before I even got to the goalkeeper there. So Niang with a nice little skill shot. He's my boy, you know, Mbai is my boy, and he makes it Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0. So that's now his 17th goal in the Premier League already. Absolutely crazy, isn't it? So 1-0 to Arsenal here. In the 38th minute, a great chance for Villa to grab themselves an equalising goal. Tyson plays a 1-2 of Kakitani. He strikes it from range, but Chris Ince makes a very good save and turns it behind for a corner. So good stop by a goalkeeper there, and it's still 1-0. A couple minutes after the restart though, how about this? Well, if you guys are having trouble to see what's going on in the snow, the referee clearly was as well, because he awarded a penalty, and I had absolutely no idea what it was for. Chris Ince was apparently the guilty party, but I couldn't see what it was for, not in real time or on the replay. Answers on a postcard. Where's the penalty in this incident? I have no idea whatsoever. So penalty to Aston Villa. If it was me, I'd be chipping this down the middle or probably even blasting the ball wide, because I had no idea why this was a penalty. But it was given. Weimann against Chris Ince. Is justice going to be served? Is Ince going to make the save, or is Weimann going to make it Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 1? Ince is going to make the save. He's keeping Szczesny out of the first team right now, and that penalty save is a big reason why. Even though Ince is 9 ratings lower than Szczesny, I fancy him as a better goalkeeper. So Ince makes the save. Justice done in my opinion, and it's still Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0, with our young goalkeeper pulling off a big save. So still 1-0, and just past the hour mark here, a great chance for us to double our advantage. Debussy plays a brilliant ball inside towards Lazzari, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He doesn't round him like Niang did in the first half. He goes for a first time finesse, and he does find the back of the net as well. So Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 0. We double our lead in this game. What a ball that was by Debussy, and Lazzari's finish. I actually think Steer could have done a better job there, to be honest, as the ball was pretty much straight at him, but even so, it's a nice finish by Lazzari regardless, and he does make it Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 0. So Lazzari gets his 8th goal of the season. That's now 25 goals between them already right now. What a great partnership they are. And 11 minutes before time, we won ourselves a free kick here with the score still at 2-0. Obviously, Niang was going to stand up and take it. He's 28 yards out, and the guy, he can do anything. And Bai Niang can score free kicks, penalties. I'm sure if I went for goal from a corner, he'd probably find the back of the net. And Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 0 to score line as Bai Niang turns in the free kick. It's his first free kick goal in a while, I think. I think it might have actually been since the West Bromwich Albion days. But even so, Arsenal 3, Villa 0. His first free kick in an Arsenal shirt regardless. And Niang does get his second goal of the game. So 2 for Niang, 1 for Lazari. A penalty saved by Christians, and a very, very good performance from the whole team, to be honest. It was a really dominant display. Aston Villa didn't do too much. They did have one shot in the first half which didn't save, but other than that, other than the penalty they had as well which was saved, it was mainly all about Arsenal's performance in this game. And I could have scored more goals, I'd show more urgency, but regardless, Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 0. The 3 points are going to be ours. That's the most important thing, and Niang does indeed get a second goal of the game. And the guy this season, he's shown exactly why we needed to get him back. You know, if we are going to win the trophies that the Arsenal board want us to, he's going to be one of the main reasons. So Arsenal 3, Villa 0. And from kickoff, Villa did try and grab themselves a consolation goal with Luna going down the left hand side and finding Silla. He plays the ball inside to the area, and Chris Ince makes another good save. So despite the fact we were 3-0 up, Ince still had to be on his game and make saves there, and it's another good one for him, and it's still 3-0. And the final chance fell in the 90th minute. Aaron Ramsey strike from just outside the area, cannons off the post, and is cleared away. But it was how the game would finish though. Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 0. A very, very convincing win. The fantastic run we're on right now in the league continues. Very good win for us there. Great to see Ince make a penalty save as well. And yeah, it's a really good performance. Niang with a couple of nice goals. Lazari with 1-2. And as things stand, things are coming together really nicely here at the Emirates. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.